Yeah, and I just want to go to bed. I'm too old for this. Hey everyone, it's Jo. I'm the Kosher Ninja, and I've traded in my hiking boots for library books. I'm in Israel doing my master's degree, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Stick around. Subscribe, ring the notification bell, and be notified when I post new videos. Right now, yes, you saw correctly, that is my sleeping bag. The weather has changed. The other night, literally overnight, the winds blew in from the east, and I guess they're blowing in desert air from Jordan, and it is dry. And the nights are cooler since the weather has changed, so I had to pull out the sleeping bag. Sleeping with my duvet cover alone is no longer enough. But the dry air, like my skin is dry and cracking, my fingertips are in pain. I was not expecting this. I was thinking, you know, I'm in Herzliya, the Mediterranean coast, Tel Aviv, it's nice and humid here. Not. But anyways. Okay, so today's video we're going to talk about some of the challenges that you face when you're living in the dorms and some sort of emergency procedures that you really should observe. Note the should in this context. I forgot about this. Campus life. Yeah, that's a fire alarm. It is, let's see, midnight on Shabbat. So it's Friday night, midnight. There's some kind of birthday party going on in the bomb shelter next door to my room. And there's a fire alarm going. Yeah, and I just want to go to bed. I'm too old for this. Do I look sleep deprived? Like the bags under my eyes and everything else? Yes, because I am sleep deprived. I just came back from a lovely discussion with the young guy across the hall whose birthday it was yesterday. Really nice guy actually from Amsterdam. He was very apologetic and he said he wouldn't happen again, so that's fine. That first fire alarm that you heard was apparently the candles on his cake going off. So, okay, the fire alarms are apparently very sensitive in this building. A little while later, I saw somebody, I don't know if it was his buddies or somebody else, blowing smoke into the smoke detectors. That was not cool. So I mentioned it to him and he said he would talk to his buddies. So, like I said, he was very nice and apologetic about it all and stuff, so hopefully it won't happen again. But yeah, this is not what I bargained for dorm life. So yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, I have nothing more to say about that. My brain is fried because of sleep deprivation. So yeah, anyways. Another fire alarm. I didn't even hear that one. I'm like editing videos and I didn't even hear it until I stopped listening to my videos. So one day I'm going to burn to death. This is really bad, but it's not exactly the right comparison, but I'm starting to feel like I kind of have a sense for the air raid sirens that go off, or the the bomb and missile sirens that go off when Israel is under attack. So I'm sort of feeling a little bit that way right now, although it's not a fair comparison at all. Alright, night. I'm so traumatized. So I'm afraid to go to bed because if I go to sleep, I'm afraid the fire alarm's gonna go off. After the last one of those alarms, somebody posted to the WhatsApp group that a couple of guys had showed up at her door saying that her room was the source of the fire alarm, and she had literally been standing there cutting a lemon. Okay, so it's a new building, and I'm sure there are bugs and glitches in the wiring that need to be fixed, but please, let us get some sleep. Plus, I'm still literally still recovering from the party the other night, the birthday party down the hall a couple of nights ago. I don't bounce back the way I used to, so like if I get a sleepless night, it takes 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 days or nights for me to like get the rest that I need and get back to like regular status, I suppose. Yeah, that's what it's like when you go back to school in your 50s and you live in the dorms with the undergrads. Laila Tov. Okay, this is ridiculous. This is the 4th time tonight while we were sleeping. And it was like 2 or 3 times last evening and at least once yesterday in the well, yeah, including at least once while we were in class and I wasn't in the building. We're not getting any sleep, and this is really, really seriously not funny anymore. Oh my goodness, what a night. Okay, so I counted after I went to sleep, I counted 5 times that the fire alarm went off. Before I went to bed and after class, there were at least 2 times, and I know it had gone off while I'd been in class. So at least 3 times after dinner last night, and that's just not cool. I didn't get much sleep at all, and neither did anybody else in the building, and everybody's in flying arms about it, and I don't know how many complaints have been lodged with the dorms. It's good. They need to know about it. They do definitely know about it, I'm sure by now. But there's a few things actually operating here. So up till now, there's been, and I've witnessed this, people actually smoking in the building or even blowing smoke into the detectors, and that's just not cool. That's like grade 6 stuff, okay? But the other thing is apparently cooking sets it off. So we've been criticizing the undergrads' cooking skills, but apparently that's not the only reason. There's also been a birthday cake that set it off, but there's like clearly nothing setting it off. Having said that, and having roundly apologized, and I apologize again to the undergrads for criticizing your cooking skills, but in my defense, I have found burnt popcorn in the stairwells. So just saying, it is what it is. Like I said, new building, so some bugs to be cleared out and fixed. But the other stuff, like the cooking and the smoking, yeah, not cool. Well, cooking, you gotta cook, sorry. Smoking, not cool. Cooking, hopefully once the system gets fixed, so hopefully once they get it sorted out, whatever the problem is, then the cooking won't be a problem. But I hope they do it fast because I need some sleep. So when I say I forgot about that with the fire alarms, I literally forgot about that. When I was in undergrad and lived in residence way back in the day, we had tons of fire alarms all the time. Not quite to the extent of here, but in our residence back then, they literally said that spiders sometimes would walk through the smoke detectors and set the fire alarms off. Yeah, it's... I didn't need my sleep as badly when I was 20. But anyhow, most of the worst problem has been resolved. We still get the fire alarms going from time to time, and I still do make a start every time the elevator bings. But it's much better now. I'm actually sleeping through the night, and everything's good. And there have been no parties down the hall either since then, so I'm feeling much more rested, although now I'm starting to panic about the level of work that I have to do. So sigh. If it's not one thing, it's the other. Okay, so I'm just back from class, and yes, it's dark outside. It's only about 6 o'clock because we've changed the clocks back. But I did get an extra hour of sleep, which was nice. And in about half an hour, I think 20 minutes or so, we're going to have a practice siren, air raid siren. I'm told it's very loud. Once we hear the siren, we have 90 seconds to get to a bomb shelter. And every floor in the dorms has a shelter, and on my floor, mine is right next door to my room. So I don't have to go very far, but there's a lot of places out on campus that if I was out there during when the siren went off, I really wouldn't know where to go. It'll be interesting to see what that sounds like, because there's been a couple times when I've been out and I've heard some weird sound, and I've wondered if that was a siren and if I should be going for a shelter or not. So it'll be nice to know what it actually sounds like. But like I said, I'm told it's very loud, and whatever I've heard in the past was not very loud. So, and it was off in the distance. So for all the time that I've spent in Israel, I've never actually had either a real or a practice air raid siren. So this is a good thing to familiarize myself with this and get to know what it's like and what the procedures are in the event that something were to happen. But let's just hope it doesn't. Okay, that's the siren. I gotta go. That's a heavy door. So this is the bomb shelter. I was in here a minute ago when the siren went off. There was nobody else here, so clearly people are taking this very seriously. But anyway, some people use this as a study area sometimes, and otherwise it's the room next door to mine. So if you're living in residence, and especially if you're a little more on the mature side like I am, what has been your biggest challenge? Put that in the comments down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up or 2 thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, ring the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and shalom, eh? I always say it doesn't rain in Israel. Well, it's raining. And we wouldn't call this rain. It's like drizzling, basically. But you can see the clouds are gray, and there are actually raindrops on the ground, if you can see that. And it rained the other night, a couple of nights the other night, and the water is getting into the wall outside of my room, and it's dripping on my window. Talk, talk, talk. It's like driving me nuts. So it does rain in Israel, and that's a good thing because they need the rain.